Welcome to this lesson on probability. Probability is all about measuring how likely something is to happen. The LANTITE regularly tests your ability to calculate probabilities, list outcomes, and express your answers as fractions, decimals, or percentages. This lesson covers the fundamentals you need to tackle those questions confidently. By the end of this lesson, you will understand the probability scale, be able to express probability in three forms, calculate theoretical probability, list outcomes systematically, and work with complementary events. Let's start with the basics. Probability is measured on a scale from 0 to 1. 0 means the event is impossible, it can never happen. 1 means the event is certain, it will definitely happen. Half, or 0.5, means there is an even chance it is equally likely to happen or not happen. Every probability falls somewhere on this scale. A probability can never be less than 0 or greater than 1. Probability is calculated as the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of possible outcomes. You can express this as a fraction, a decimal, or a percentage. For example, the probability of rolling a 3 on a standard die is 1 out of 6, which is the fraction 1 to 6, the decimal 0.167, or 16.7%. On the LANTITE, the question will usually specify which form to use, so read carefully. Let's work through a simple probability question. A bag has 3 red, 5 blue, and 2 green marbles. What is the probability of drawing a blue marble? There are 5 blue marbles out of 10 total. So the probability is 5 over 10, which simplifies to 1/2, or 0.5, or 50%. Always simplify your fraction unless told otherwise. When the question says list all outcomes, write them out as a set. Here, a spinner has 4 equal sections, so the sample space is red, blue, green, yellow. Since all sections are equal, each has a probability of 1/4. The probability of landing on green is 1 out of 4, or 0.25, or 25%. When outcomes are equally likely, probability is simply 1 divided by the number of outcomes. Let's practice with a standard die. Part A, the probability of rolling an even number. The even numbers are 2, 4, and 6, that is 3 out of 6, which simplifies to 1/2. Part B, a number greater than 4. That is 5 and 6 to 2 out of 6, which simplifies to 1/3. Part C, rolling a 7. There is no 7 on a standard die, so the probability is 0. It is impossible. Notice how we always list the favorable outcomes first, then divide by the total. Complementary events are a powerful shortcut. The complement of an event is everything that is not that event. The probability of an event plus the probability of its complement always equals 1. So if the probability of rain is 0.3, then the probability of no rain is 1 minus 0.3, which is 0.7. This is useful when it is easier to calculate the probability of something not happening and then subtract from 1. Here is a complementary events question. There are 20 chocolates, and 3 are dark. The probability of getting dark chocolate is 3 over 20. So the probability of not getting dark chocolate is 1 minus 3 over 20, which is 17 over 20, or 0.85, or 85%. The complement rule is a useful shortcut, especially when there are many favorable outcomes for the complement, and only a few for the event itself. This is a typical LANTITE spinner question, an 8-section spinner numbered 1 to 8. Part A, the probability of less than 3 is 2 out of 8, or 1/4. Part B, odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 7. That is 4 out of 8, or 1/2. Part C, we need the probability of not getting a multiple of 3. The multiples of 3 from 1 to 8 are 3 and 6. So the probability of a multiple of 3 is 2 over 8. Using the complement rule, the probability of not a multiple of 3 is 1 minus 2 over 8, which is 6 over 8, simplifying to 3/4. Watch out for these common mistakes. First, giving a probability greater than 1 or less than 0. That is always wrong. Second, not simplifying fractions. Always reduce to lowest terms unless instructed otherwise. Third, confusing equally likely with not equally likely. A spinner with unequal sections does not give each section the same probability. Fourth, forgetting to list all outcomes. Be systematic and make sure you have not missed any. Pause the video and try these 6 problems. Problem 1 is a basic Margle probability. Problem 2 asks you to express probability as a percentage. Problem 3 uses the complement rule. Problem 4 involves listing outcomes. Problem 5 is a die probability. Problem 6 asks for the complement of an event. Check your answers when you are ready. Let's recap. Probability always falls between 0 and 1. The basic formula is favorable outcomes over total outcomes. You can express probability as a fraction, decimal, or percentage. The formula only works when outcomes are equally likely. Complementary events let you find the probability of something not happening by subtracting from 1. And always list outcomes systematically to make sure you have not missed any. On the LANTITE, simplify fractions and double-check your answers between 0 and 1. Good luck with your practice.